It's getting old.
Well, yeah, it's getting old and it's getting expensive. It's going to be interesting. I want to see what happens in this recall. I mean, I finally see a light, a path. It's possible that he could, in fact, be recalled. And the only thing I don't know the voter integrity issues that California likely has, because it's a one-party state. I always worry about that in any state.
Right. Well, I know that at least in my area, I'm in a conservative area, so we're really pushing hard to get him out.
Well, I hope you can. So what's going on? What's on your mind today?
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about the antibodies. So I got infected with COVID back in November, and then we were fine, and then I got pregnant in February, so I'm currently pregnant with my first baby. And so,
By the way, congratulations. Do you know if it's a boy or girl yet?
I'm going to have a little girl.
Good for you. That's great.
So they put me on an immunosuppressive drug, my doctors, because they were worried about miscarriage. I got a history of that. And I was like, okay, well, I have antibodies. Like, I really don't want to get rid of those, but they said the risk was really high, so okay, I'll take this drug, whatever. So then after I was done with that drug, I decided to get my antibodies tested, and lo and behold, I had my antibodies. So awesome. I tested every month since then. I'm in my third trimester, and I tested last week, and my antibody count actually went up.
Wow.
So it's crazy. So my baby's getting the antibodies now because I'm in third trimester, and I just want to say how frustrated I am with the media and the government that they're pushing this vaccine so hard, and they're totally ignoring us who have natural immunity.
Can I ask you, are they trying to mandate that you get a vaccine in the third trimester of your pregnancy, even though you had COVID and you have natural immunity?
I haven't heard them mandating it, but doctors are pushing, for sure.
Your doctors are pushing you to get it now in the third trimester, even though you have natural immunity.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm not a doctor, so this is a little out of my realm. Have you spoken to other medical professionals?
Not directly about this. I've talked to, other pregnant moms, and they're all kind of like, what do we do? Like, we don't know what we're supposed to, because there's not a lot of information about being pregnant and having the vaccine. And
there have been cases where there's been a connection to people, again, rare cases, but I don't want to ignore them because I have read about them. I've read about rare cases where people, women that are pregnant, getting the vaccine and it having a negative reaction. This is something, if you've got natural immunity and your pregnancy is going well, I'm not sure why they would try to push you into getting the vaccine at this point. And I think you really need to have a long sit down with your doctor. And I think you also probably need, I would highly recommend you bring in other doctors that work in that are work OBGYN, and I bring them in and get their opinion on it. I got to believe that there probably are mixed views on this.
Right. Well,
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's way out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I don't know either. I just know that I don't want to get vaccinated while I'm pregnant because I just don't know what will happen. And because of my history, it's not worth it to find out. You know what I mean?
Well, if they're not telling you right now that it's mandatory, why don't you just leave it as it is, and then do your research, continue the research you've been doing, and I would reach out to people in that specific area of medicine and get their best professional opinion, and I get the opinion of people that agree and disagree, and then you're going to have to make up your own mind. Instinctively, though, I'm thinking, if you still have your regular antibodies on top of your T-cell antibodies, I would think that should cover you through your pregnancy at this point.
Yeah.
And then if you choose to get the vaccine after your baby's born, that's going to be between you and your doctor then.
Right. Well, and it's been 9 months since I've had COVID, and I've got the antibodies, and there's more and more studies coming out that are showing like antibodies are lasting much longer than previous.
I know people that have the antibodies in their blood a year after.
Right. Yeah.
So let me ask you: is there? It doesn't sound like they're just talking about it. I mean, have you had a long, serious sit-down conversation with your doctor?
I haven't yet. She basically was like, well, we really encourage all of our women to get that, but it's your choice. We're not going to force you, but we really are pushing for that. And I'm like, okay, well,
listen, okay, at least he's giving you the choice.
Right.
That part at least I like. Now, what I would recommend is I'd get as many professional opinions as you possibly can, and I'd take that decision very, very seriously. It's great that your doctor's giving you the choice. Now I would get to the professionals, other people, maybe those that really have dealt with a lot of these cases, and talk to as many people as you possibly can. You're obviously intelligent, smart, well-educated, and you'll come to the right decision for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, and hang in there. Listen, my gut tells me if you have natural immunity right now, you're pretty good. And again, I'm trying to lean on the science that I've read, and that is the Cleveland Clinic, that if you have natural immunity, they're saying that you don't need any of the vaccines. Now, pregnancy, that's not dealt with specifically in this study, so obviously that's a factor that has to be considered separate and apart.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
So much.
I wish you luck. We'll be praying for you and your baby, and it's a great time in your life. And congratulations on the baby, and we'll pray that everything comes out right. Comes out perfect for you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, hang in there, Linda. That's a hard one for me. I'm not a doctor. I certainly don't understand a whole lot. But my niece, I'm going to call her tonight. This is what she does for a living, and I'm dying to get her opinion on it. I'm going to write her now and see if I can get an answer.
I thought your answer to that woman was actually super thoughtful, because one of the biggest problems is, this is an EUA treatment. This is an emergency use authorization treatment. So why would we put anything that is not passed by the FDA yet into an unborn child and we don't do anything with pregnant women. I don't know why this would be the exception to that rule.
Exactly.
My biggest problem with everything, that all these people that are giving out the medical advice, and they're giving out one-size-fits-all medicine. Everybody must have a vaccine passport. I'm like, well, not everybody the doctor is recommending they get it. There are rare conditions that cause doctors to recommend not getting the vaccine. I know because I've interviewed people. It drives me insane that nurses, frontline pandemic nurses and medical professionals that got COVID because they put themselves in harm's way every day, that have natural immunity, are now being fired if they don't get the vaccine, and the science of the Cleveland Clinic is being completely ignored. There's no such thing as cookie cutter one-size-fits-all medicine. The reason I have been so hesitant and refused to go along with the pressure campaign that has been put upon me at times, and you know what it's been like, to tell people what to do, is I don't know anything about one's unique medical history, their current medical condition. That is not a small factor. I'm not an OBGYN doctor. I don't deliver babies. This woman has natural immunity. Okay, she recovered. Her antibody levels are still there, and we're not even discussing the antibodies known as T-cell antibodies that wouldn't show up in the blood test. So she seems pretty well protected based on the Cleveland Clinic. As it relates to pregnancy, that's just out of my wheelhouse.
Exactly right. And you know what? That's something you've said the whole time. I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to tell you what to do or what to take. Go do your own research.
Yeah, now some of my friends, because they know I've interviewed all of these doctors, they ask me the ones that I trust and the ones that I believe in, and I tell them. If my family asks me, I tell them directly what I think. People that I know and trust, I tell directly. You've asked my opinion, I've told you directly. I'm not doing it to strangers, I'm not in that position. All right, we all know sunscreen is essential during summer travel, but